It's April 11th, 2022. I'm watching this thing about this on CBS this morning. That, I don't know, whoever, the magic behind the TV, whoever puts these things together. There used to be something called Silver Cup Studios. I don't know where that is. I don't hear that referenced ever on TV or with Lynn and Lou or my children. Yet I somehow, in a hole between time and space, know it exists. So I'm watching, and there's this the man who made first, called Scheffler. He made the Masters. Again, I don't really follow their lingo. I'm trying, or at least attempting, slightly in the synopsis. And then Tiger Woods is there. So Scheffler was first, Tiger Woods was 47th. And there's this spokesperson. He has a very interesting, I think it's didactic, but like a very interesting monologue. I mean, because I know where not that I know for certain, but it feels like I know for certain, like that there's a parallel between like a silver cup understanding, like almost like a mystical wisdom type of whatever, in the parallels that run between some of the conversations that, like Lynn and Lou, when they watch it, like Linda has a completely different interpretation because there's a backstory that's constantly carrying forward and going on. And it's almost like some have a tap into it. Like they have some greater knowledge and some have no tap at all into this conversation. So the reactions are different. And then, of course, the whatever, which is why I sit alone at times to watch these conversations, because I don't want my tap to be interfered with. But also, sometimes I will sit with Lynn just just to gain a deeper perspective, and in my quiet, appreciate that at least I'm starting to learn how to read the tap at the moment. They do say, though, that he had a car accident, that after his car accident, I call it a gate, a Gate for walking, but they're calling it a hitch, Hitch. I'd never heard that term before for orthopedics, but I have a change in what they're referring to with this one instance of a hitch myself in the local area. It's something in the hip region. Sometimes it's in the knees. At times it's at the foot level, depending on, because there's something going on. I say origamically, but it's an intrinsic, extrinsic, and a kinesthetic system that's not functioning properly in my area of New York at the moment, and it's definitely taking its toll and beating me up where I'm not even able to hold and walk up straight, and cellularly I'm holding on to so much unneeded energy that I can't even expel. There's toxins in the air, the breathable toxins. There's ingestible toxins, the water. I mean, like it's a whole biochemistry disaster in the area. Not a level that whatever, but in whatever, it's a complex structure, and I know the pieces very well, and I can see what they're doing to me while I'm being held here.
Ovation at the 18th green. and then said he felt good enough that he plans to play the British Open at St. Andrews this summer.
A month ago, I didn't know if I could pull this off. I think it was a positive, and I got some work to do, and looking forward to it.
I was standing near the 18th green as Tiger walked up the fairway. The hitch in his step quite noticeable, but safe to say, never has there been a crowd so massive, cheering so loudly for the guy who finished 47th.
We can understand it, Jim, for sure. I mean, it's a feat of determination. But let's talk about Scotty Scheffler. That's a big win for him, his first major. And I was reading that he woke up on Sunday morning in tears, and his wife had to kind of talk him down, get him back into a game-ready situation. Did he talk about that when he sat down with you?
Let me tell you, this is one impressive young man, a sort of 25-year-old going on 70. He is wise beyond his years, sort of an old soul. He says, this really interesting perspective, that golf doesn't satisfy his soul or his heart, which is really uncommon to hear from the world number one.
He does seem, though, we were talking about it in the studio, Jim, he does seem very mature for his age. Did you find him to be that in person,
Absolutely.
too? Yeah, because a lot of 25-year-olds I know don't have that maturity.
No, he's one of those guys who it's like you describe him as he's been here before. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. That story about his tears also speaks to the remarkably close relationship he has with his wife, who just said, honey, I'm going to love you no matter how you do today. So it was a really heartwarming chat after the tournament was over.
And Tiger is still
That feeling of you've been here before, you've done this before, and that older soul or that more mystical knowledge or cosmically connected kind of a thing. It does exist. Little snippets like this of people that I've never met, never had a conversation with, but yet still get it and still know it. In a get it, got it, good, let's move on kind of a way. It exists.
still a crowd favorite. He says he's coming back. You believe that, too?
He's going to play in St. Andrews. Absolutely. He's going to be at St. Andrews this summer, which he said, interestingly enough, is his favorite golf course in the world.
All right. All right.
Is Gil like a spokesperson for like Bishop Securities? I'm just curious because it's just like, holy hell, like you want to talk about like weeding out the people who are oppressing you and holding you back your entire life while like murderers are going unaddressed and you're just left in the field to have new problems. Like, I mean, and just nothing ever seems to get done from my perspective.
He's got a little over a couple months to get ready. That's in July. All right, Jim, always good to see you. Thank you very much. Coming up next, Vlad. This Vlad will have the stories you'll be talking about later today. Justin Bieber soundtrack. Pete, but first at 7:44. I love that song. First at 7:44, time to check your local weather.
It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.